Let's try this. Dan Yet, I'm gonna come to you. Unmute yourself. You've been unmuted. What's going on? I hope I said that right.
And low key, I need to ask Troy some more questions because he a beast to investing, but I don't want to put his business out there by y'all.
Oh, Danielle. Oh man, don't do that. Don't do that. She went to the fridge to get some ice. No fridge break. We're going to Jeremy. We're going to Jerry. Jerry, what's going on?
My guy.
Jerry, what's up?
Yep, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got to turn your volume down a little bit.
Turn your volume down.
Turn my volume down? Okay. What about now?
Yeah, you good.
You good.
Right.
Pearson tried to take your title for best questions last week. What you gonna do?
Man, that was a good question.
Here's my guy.
Let me ask you this. Can I ask a question for Ian? And then can I ask a question for Troy and Rashad?
Okay. Let's see what we're going to get it done.
All right. Ian, I'm going to hit you with a trading question, kind of long-term investing. I wrote it down now. Okay. How do you think trading would be different if people could only cash out their profits every 5 years? And then for Troy and Rashad, if you were to go back to your investing journey, what would you do differently to balance relationships with, like, obviously a significant other, but also with everyone that you come in contact with your investing journey? So how do you balance relationships with trading? And then for Ian, if people could only cash out their trading profits every 5 years, how do you think the game would change?
You want me to start?
Yeah, you can start.
Oh, I mean, our investment, Jerry, especially where we come from, man, you can ask anybody, and I'm sure there's a bunch of people in here. I'm an open book, man. I'm a teacher at heart. And so anything I learn, I'm calling people like, listen, I got to show you this. Come over to my house, let's sit down, let's go over this, because I want them to see it. Number one, like we said, it's successful, inspire others. And so I would have been more patient earlier as an investor, but I would have taught more earlier too, right? Because that's the true test now. And every week we get to test what we know. So if I could go back, I would learn more and try to teach more like I'm doing now, because I could have helped so many people, and I could have learned from so many people at the same time. I'm sure, obviously, if I met Ian 10 years ago, who knows what my investment portfolio would have been now. You know what I'm saying? So as soon as I learn, I try to teach. And so like, that's my strategy now. And I've had many people come over, and Shadi sent a bunch of people over to my house to come sit down with me. So that's it, man. Teach, learn, teach, learn.
I think he asked relationships, like how do you manage relationships with investing? That's a good question, just in general business relationships. Mm-hmm. For me, I would have focused more on investing than any relationship, because none of the relationships that I ever had ever lasted. So didn't matter anyway.
Deep.
What are you talking about?
He's talking about like personal relationship.
Oh, I'm about to say we still here, man.
I mean, this is
yeah. If we're gonna talk dating for real, I'll tell you, fellas, most of the women that you were gonna be cheating on you anyway. Yo, invest the money, bro. I'll be real with you. Like, we want to have a real conversation. Probably like, hey, Nikki might clip this up for real. Like, you should put whatever that you think is gonna work out with, unless you're married, put that money long term into the market. I mean to run over your point, but go ahead, Rashad.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, if you find somebody that you can get married to and it works out, then that's great. But a lot of times you spend a lot of money and you spend a lot of energy in relationships that don't go anywhere. And looking back on it, that's money and that's energy and that's time that you could have been using to improve yourself. So hindsight's 20/20, but
no, you're right.
You gotta,
Yeah, and we're not saying money over relationships. So don't, I know cancel culture going like, yo, all I care about it. No, we're not saying that. Just most relationships don't work out. And then there are things that we need to do. Watch, I'm about to like cape for the crowd. There are things that we need to do to be better men, to have better relationships too, right? But that's why that advice in your 20s, early 30s, you should be focused on the mission before you're ready. Because a lot of times, like, we're not ready for the relationships that we say we
and it becomes easier. It becomes easier when you have money. That's something that nobody wants to talk about either. It's true.
My grandmother used to tell me there's no romance without finance, baby. You're not that fine. That was my favorite quote. Shout out to my grandma Rose. I'm like, no, and I had more when I was broke, but I'm being real. Hey, that's a true ass quote. Like, it takes money to.
You can have the relationships on the back end.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier, and you're going to have more fun because you have money. and then you're going to be able to enjoy yourself even more.
Yep. You see the stripper pole in the back. We're about to wrap up this. Boy.
You're living off experience.
Hey, LOX. Yeah. YO.
Jerry, wait, did you answer the second part? Answer the second part.
If you could only take out profits after 5 years of trading, there would probably be 80% less people in the market and more people would be more disciplined. But the excitement and euphoria, that is for the benefit of brokers. And we're talking about it on a Dream Team call. Like, look at how much money Coinbase is making off not only transactions, but staking, and then how much money Robinhood is making off the back end from selling the data, and then trading institutions and platforms make from the excitement, that arbitrage of not being disciplined. All the real money, that's why when you guys are like, hey, I want to trade education business, I'm like, you're shooting at the wrong basket. The real basket is hedge fund, like hyper acceleration fund or platform, because all the money's made on the lack of discipline. So if people are paying you to not, like, trading is, you're paying your money to not be disciplined so another company can take your losses and then invest it long term.
Yeah. Shout out to Dan. He said all relationships are transactional. Not true.
Nope,
Some
not true.
relationships are transformational. Remember that. There's going to be somebody that comes into your life that shares your vision, shares your passion, shares your genuine care for human beings and for you. And that can be transformational. So Dan, love you, bro.
Yeah, I'll give up every dollar I have and every suit jacket on earth for 1 week with either of my grandparents. I'll turn everything in.
That's just me, though.
Our relationships are not transactional. And I'm gonna be real. Like, once you guys get enough money, you can be lonely with money and not have friends. Like, the thing that makes life great is people that you love. That's why I tell you, like, even if things are messed up with your family, when they go on the ground, like, some of you haven't been to 20 funerals. Some of you haven't had your friends killed, and instead of doing it, that's when, like, some of y'all be like, yo, you didn't DM me back. Like, I should have been on the phone with BD and Lucky instead of fucking telling y'all what to invest in. Keep it 1,000. I should have been on the phone with them. That's why I'm like, go execute. I'm taking time, like, from people that I love, that knew me before anybody else knew me, and knew I was on his wave when Nas Esco was the hottest thing on earth with Lauren the first time, and I was brushing my hair trying to get them waves like Chicago. And they're fucking gone over jealousy and hate. You don't get those moments back. No, I give all that shit up to get my grandmother back in time with, like, my cousin Rick. Like one of my cousins, Rick friend Dom, passed last week, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, some of us are too young to be dying. Too young. Don't take any of this for granted. No, relationships are not transactional.
I appreciate you, Jerry.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, my guy.